I think I got it. Check. Can you all hear me? Check, check. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the EastSide Cafe. Yeah. Woo! My name is Angela Flores. I'm a community activist, artist. I'm a co-founder and co-facilitator of the EastSide Cafe. This is our 20th year, and we are just so ecstatic to have you all here and to be in our community. I want to acknowledge that we have legends here. We have Luis Rodriguez and his wife, Trinidad. And they also have a space called the Achuchas, also in their 20th or 20th year. So it's really beautiful to be here in solidarity and support of one another. They have this beautiful arts cultural bookstore, informing, educating familias and the next generation. And we're just so proud to also be a space, a cultural space, available and accessible to our communities. I just wanted to share a few words. I won't take long, but 20 years ago was, what was it? 2002, right? And I think I was 19 or something like that. I was 21 because I'm 41. And we didn't have social media, right? And I don't know where you all were at. Maybe, remember where you were at 20 years ago. And if people don't know the history, my father went to Chiapas, Mexico as a founder of the EastSide Cafe. He was inspired by the Zapatista movement and what was happening in Chiapas, Mexico, and how a population of indigenous people rose up against their government and decided that they wanted to be autonomous. So he went there right away in '94, and he was able to have funds to live out there for a couple years as a human rights observer and study what was happening, what was going on, and how they interacted with one another. The Zapatistas are masters of communication and being able to consider, support, care for one another, and to being mindful of everyone around them. And so he brought that back here, and a lot of Chicanos at the time were looking for something. They were looking for that safety net. They were looking for that creativity. They were looking for something, So we would see a lot of people coming in and out of our house. And my dad was like, you know what? We just need to have a dialogue here like the Zapatistas have their dialogues. And so we would meet every Sunday at my house and welcome everyone and anyone who was struggling with injustices in their lives. And it was across the board. And whether it be we're talking about feminism or Native American rights or immigrant rights, everything. And so we would not only talk about injustices, but we would talk about our dreams, and we would talk about what we wanted. And we started understanding what collectivism looked like. We started understanding what localism could look like, environmentalism. People were like, I want to start a business, or I want to start, let's see if we could have a radio show on KPFK. It was these small little things that we have today, actually. And it's pretty empowering because nowadays you see it and you're like, oh yeah, people can easily create a collective, and it wasn't so easy back then. So I just wanted to bring that up because we come a long way. And the idea of a cafe, right? We didn't have any cafes 20 years ago. We were like looking for, what kind of venue can we be where we talk about, we have discourse on the political climate, and how do we pass on this information to the next generation, but also make it a safe space, but also like have arts and culture, And so someone was like, let's do something similar to what's that cafe? I'm blanking out, but it was a really popular Lunasol Cafe. Yes, Lunasol Cafe in MacArthur Park. Does anyone remember that cafe? Yes. So that was near and dear to our hearts. It was probably the very first cafe where I got to see Manu Chao for free. And I would go during the day. It was the first place where they had Mexican vegetarian food, and I would get like sweet potato smoothies. But besides that, they were very welcoming of families organizing and working to pass legislation and whatnot, all of that, protest. And so we said, what do we have to do to create a space for our people? We don't have venues here. It's not right. How come we don't have venues here? And so like nowadays we have businesses and we have spaces, and so we have to take care of our spaces, right? Because we don't want to lose them to gentrification. So fast forward to 2017, we almost lost this whole building, and we decided to intervene. We fought the developer, and the developer said, okay, I'll give you a chance to raise enough money to buy your building, and you got 10 days. And within 9 days, we were able to put down $120,000 and put in a bona fide offer for the whole building. So I am not just the EastSide Cafe. You all are the EastSide Cafe. Everyone who has come through these doors throughout the years, everyone who has sat here for a spoken word, or who has participated in jiu-jitsu or yoga or capoeira or ESL classes or film screenings, all of that, everyone has a special place here, and you all can come and participate and organize, and you can make it your home. And so that's exactly what we're doing right now. We've been here 20 years. Let's do another 20 years. Let's do another 100 years. This is our space anyway. So we're doing the next level, and we're gonna be raising funds to renovate the whole space here. We're working with an interior designer and an architect, and we're gonna be working out it's a whole collective plan that's been worked on. So June 4th, we're going to launch our fundraising plan. We're gonna be posting up renderings of what the space might look like. And then June 25th, we're gonna have our mercado, our popular mercados that happen annually. And so we're gonna have some bands, and we're gonna have vendors, as always. I encourage you all to be here, and thank you so very much for being here. I love you all for being here. Thank you.
Thank you, Angie. Thank you, everyone, for being here. My name is Michael. I'm the one who put this mess together. So I've been a part of EastSide Cafe for about maybe 10 years or so. And in that time, you learn about other spaces and other community spaces. And in going to those, you experience the culture and Latinx culture, Chicanx culture. And during that time, the thing that really stood out to me were the open mics. Those were the things that really I got excited about. Just experiencing it, feeling the words of the poets bouncing off the walls, bouncing through you. It's a different experience than reading poetry on paper. So I was always the one at the open mics, kind of like looking around, like, man, who's recording this right now? Like, who's documenting this? So I kind of just fell into the, doing video work and photo work. I kind of fell into also documenting open mics and poetry stuff. So a few years ago, while I was going through records, I found records by The Last Poets, The Watts Prophets, speeches by Malcolm X on record. And after finding these records, I thought, well, if these sprung up from these civil rights movements, there's got to be Chicano poetry out there, recordings. So I started looking, and I couldn't find a lot. I did find some great albums, but I just felt like there should be more out there, more that could teach us about the Chicanx experience, the Latinx experience. And I was here one day with Angie, talking about that, how I couldn't find any of these poetry collections. And it kind of dawned on us that we had the space, I had the equipment, we knew poets, so we could start recording our own collection. And that's what we did. So over the summers of 2018, 2019, I recorded as many poets as I could in this space and next door. And that's why we're here today. We're releasing this poetry collection, trying to raise funds to get it pressed onto vinyl. We're almost there. I think we only need to sell like 100 more records, and we're there. So please tell everybody buy a copy, and we can get this pressed. Thank you. And let's see, what else was I going to say here?
Give it up for Michael.
So although we live in an age where cultural projects and events are effortlessly recorded with mobile devices, I personally feel that there remains a lack of preserving these works in high quality formats, which is what I set out to do, is to record these poets clearly and permanently. Culture is a powerful tool, and we realize that our communities are diverse, multifaceted, and unique. And the poets featured in this project remind us to honor our complex past and move forward unapologetically. As humanity faces an uncertain future, I think about the civilizations and cultures whose histories have been fragmented and lost over time. And we're forced to think about our own impact and what we leave behind for those to come. So VOZ is a project that has challenged me to ask and answer, what can I do to contribute to the Chicano culture, to Latinx culture and history? And that's what this project is my attempt to do that. So thank you.
Okay, I just came home right now. This is my house. I'm born and raised El Sereno. Growing up, we never had coffee shops or record stores or art spaces. We had to go to take the bus to Alhambra, take the bus somewhere else, right? And then the EastSide Cafe, all of a sudden, Sandia Sundays, there's a whole story to it, but the fact when they became and existed, it was just so nurturing. And so for me, this is home. And I'm going to be your host today. Welcome. You guys are in for a beautiful night. All of these features are amazing. Michael did it right. He'd be at Espacio 1839 recording me, and I'm like, why is this guy recording me? And no, he'd be just at EastSide Cafe or Corazón del Pueblo, all the spaces. And we have a collection. It speaks to a piece, a place, to a people. So you guys, if you don't have VOZ, if you have how many hipsters are in the house? No. Okay, but do you have a record player? Okay, then buy the vinyl real quick.
The term is chipster.
Oh, how many chipsters are in the house? I'm a chipster, whatever. Okay, here we go. So, to get you started, we have this amazing poet. We've been on tour together. We went to Fresno on a bus. We have stories for days. Here we go. Adolfo Guzman Lopez is a journalist and poet. He's part of Project 1521, a group of LA writers who's written about the 500 years of Spanish conquest, the Florentine Codex, the indigenous Tlalicos, who wrote and painted a history nearly extinguished by conquest. He's the host and writer of Imperfect Paradise, The Forgotten Revolutionary, a podcast about Chicano college activists who died in 1994. Give it up for Adolfo Guzman Lopez.
Canto número uno. Mundo. Otro. Mundo. Otro. Mundo. Es posible. Possible. Si es posible. Fe. Another world. This world. Possible. Another. More. 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 Amor. What? Men? So. Men. Yo? What? So what? Men so yo. Dia. Die. Barren. More. Barren. More. No. Ser. Sereno. Sereno moreno. Son, somos, todos, somos nada. Somos Oscar, somos Margiberta, somos Sabrina, somos Eddie Chican. Ex. Chic. On. X. Where? X. Here. X. Chican. X. Aquí estamos y no nos vamos. Somos el cha, che, chi, chochu. We are all that is. That is all we are. More. Love each other. Yo. Me. Otro yo. You are my other self. No. Better said, I am another yourself. I am another yourself. All right, I got my camera. I have to take a picture of you all beautiful people. Because they ain't never going to believe me back home. Oh, beautiful brown people. Oh, look at that. Oh. Love it. Canto número 2. All right, camaradas, comrades, compañeros, compañeras, compañeros. Okay, so now is the easy question. Why am I here? Well, we remember in order to inspire. I am there in MacArthur Park, 2007, after the Jaranas play Cops Use Batons to shut down Spanish language news. I am there on 3rd and Pine, 2020, a foam round hits me in the neck. I run, but I'm safe. I know I'm safe because I have you and I have me. Lalo Guerrero cries as our interview ends. He could forgive Mexico for turning its back on him, a Tucson boy who loved rancheras, but he could not forget. The marches end and we cross the bridge. The woman raises a daughter and puts on boxing gloves twice a week in a backyard on Virgil. The Teramotos invite me every January 1st on Blanchard Street for shogatsu, sashimi, whiskey, and midnight menudo. The water springs up in ojos de agua, ojos de agua. Don't you love that phrase, water eyes? On Barrington, next to Uni High School. I watch the teachers take over Beaudry. They close it down, they close it down, they close it down. And like Lipset said, by addressing the hurt and finding out how it came to be, we begin to grasp ways of understanding the past and ending its pain. By addressing the hurt and finding out how it came to be, we begin to grasp ways of understanding the past and ending its pain. Gracias.
Okay, everybody snap. You gotta snap for the poets. Adolfo, thank you so much. You always bring it to like that place. I appreciate you so much. Okay, up next. You guys aren't even ready. I'm gonna tell you a little story real quick. So it's the EastSide Cafe, and then people walk in, they're like, I want a latte. I want a non-cappuccino, whatever you call it. And then it's like, we don't serve coffee. We serve justice. We serve consciousness. You know, like, come on, guys. You can get coffee everywhere else. Here we go. Alma Rosa Rivera is a Los Angeles Chicana writer, community organizer, currently residing in the IE. Although motherhood has been her main focus lately, she finds poems in many places besides books, such as blooming flowers, making caldo. Who doesn't love caldo? Gleaming lowriders. Some of her favorite writers include Jose Olivares, Rios de la Luz, Michelle Cerros, rest in peace, and Sandra Cisneros. Give it up for Alma! Girl, get up here. Get up here.
Hello. It's been a long time since I've been on the mic. I was thinking about it this morning, and I had my kids and then the pandemic, and I thought about it, I'm like, I think it's been like almost 3 years. It's been a long time. But it feels good to be back. I'm living in the IE. I live in San Bernardino. So does anybody know that? No. It doesn't deserve the woo. So, yeah, any chance I get out, I'm learning to love it. We're finding community out there. We're trying, my husband, he's starting a community space out there. So shout out to my husband. Which means I'll be stuck there longer. Tear. So no cheering on that part, but So I wrote this poem when we still lived here, and it's called City of Ganas. They say Aztlan is a magical place. I say to that, then Los Angeles must be Aztlan. It must have been a sunken city once. It must be where the chalice of Jesus is hidden. Yes, Los Angeles is a magical place. La Llorona comes here to vacation. She goes cruising with all the chucas because only they understand her life of blood and loss. People, they dream and dream and dream here. City of dreamers, city of sueños, city of ganas, city of turning penny bronze into gold. City of hustle and bustle, city of poor now, rich later. This kingdom, this fairy tale, this nightmare, the city of wanting it so bad, the city of wanting, of getting, of never forgetting where you come from, the city of a people who never give up, the city of Los Angeles. That's my first one. So I wanted to write some new stuff, and then, the ban with abortion, and then I was like sad, and then shootings, and more sad, and another shooting. So, I wish I could have worked on something about that, but, sometimes we process grief differently. Sometimes we can write about it, and sometimes we can't. But I wrote this poem, and I guess in a way, maybe it could lift you guys up a little bit because it's about my people. And we all need a little extra love right now, right? We're all sensitive, and it's a hard time right now. It's heavy. So I wrote this poem. My people, they are beautiful to me. Heavy hooped, ocean eyeshadow, and a brick smile. My people, they are beautiful to me. On every corner, a traveling tianguis, a bouquet touching the sky, the bell that rings throughout summer, a tweety paleta that melts, but its gumball eyes still smile at me. My people, the resilient, the rebels, no papers, no problem. Actually, lots of problems. But my people, the humble, market calendars nailed to the wall, Jesus nailed to the cross, my people, the believers, the Sunday goers, and the weird brown kids that get dragged along with them. My fellow brown kids, their crazy colored hair, a hidden tattoo, and the clothes that their mommies will never understand. All the mommies who maybe we should start calling creator because without them we are nothing. I love my people that tend so sweet, the children and the strawberries, bus stoppers, car hoppers, the papis with their thick hands and the women with our thick blood. I love us all, the way we buzz and swarm like busy bees, the way we're sweet and the way we sting. Let me see, actually. I wrote this poem a while back. Is anybody here named Maria? Todas. Exactly. Well, all the Marias stand up. So I wrote this poem because of that. So it's called Ode to Woman Named Maria. When you're brown and pregnant, people will tell you, name her anything, but don't name her Maria. I can tell that they do not think kindly of this name, that they think of it more stench than fragrance, that when they hear this name, they think of old beat-up huaraches, or of a wise indigena woman, her skin aged with deep waves. It makes them think of beans brewing. It makes them think of the border and the wall. It makes them think of Donald speaking of building the wall. It makes them think of the people Donald wants to push behind the wall. They think of El Presidente as America. They think of America examining their darkness, how they want to pass the checkpoint they feel every time a white person looks at their skin too long. Black hair, it's spread apart on their pillows. And when the moon glows, the dream is always one of becoming American. And so they avoid being Marias. They want to forget the sound of the rooster's crow. They choose their middle name instead. And what a sad way to live, to not love the very root of where you grew from, to not be proud of how your name sounds like the ocean, or of how it blooms out of your mouth like a bouquet of roses. Maria Cósmica, Maria Bonita, Maria Maria, I hope you remember that for many, your name feels like home. Named after a woman so loved, people walk on their knees to see her. Thank you. I wanted to thank Michael for the project. I'm somebody who loves anything old, vintage stuff, and old movies. And I love old movies because you think about how those people have passed on, and you're watching them moving, right, talking, and that's so powerful when we document ourselves. And so, like, when you did this project, it meant so much to me, and the fact that it's going on vinyl and records. And I always think about, like, someone's gonna accidentally donate it, and it's gonna arrive at like a thrift store in like 40 years. And I'll find it because I'm always at the thrift stores and all. Somebody else will find it, and then they're gonna play it, and they're gonna be like, "Wow!" Like, and that's a powerful thing. Besides, yeah, really. And then and then they'll look us up, and we'll do a poetry night again. No, I'm joking, but yeah. So it's powerful, and I'm really excited for something physical for our community. I just have one last poem, and I wrote it when I was pregnant. I'm not pregnant now, so don't rub my belly and tell me how many months I am. It's called Stretch Marks. You live with a young girl. Both of you are pregnant. She is here to anchor her baby to a country she hopes will provide for her. You are worried about your children learning Spanish, yearning to smell the soil of a country you've never been to. What a funny thing, how life is. Mexico and California in reality are just two balconies with lovers signed over their ledges, dreaming of getting to the other side. Each side a different desire, a different fantasy. The only difference is the way we word the feeling. We call it dreaming. Y ellos sueños, fingers clasped between borders. I imagine them playing rock, paper, scissors, doing a Chicano handshake. Anything but letting go. Yeah, thank you again. Thanks for having me.
Okay, give it up one more time. Alma was like one of those rising poets. And no, it still is, but the way I mean it, because she's like, I'm a mother, I've been away, I've been a little hidden, but like, you guys heard her voice. She's so amazing. Girl, write the next book. All right, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna tell you another secret. How does a poet introduce themselves? Okay. Iris is a Guanaca Tapatía poet, born and raised in El Sereno. Here we go. I'm going to only do two, because you're going to have enough of me by the end of the night. The first one is very deep. It's for all my reclaimers. You guys, the real reclaimers, okay, there was two waves. So there was the first wave, and they're the ones that were in the homes. And then we had a second wave. We were trying to be punk rock about it. Like, we can bring new wave back real quick. And Governor Newsom didn't like it. The CHP arrested 72 of us real quick. But anyways, if you guys can support June 1st, there's a rally. Angela, what's like time and date? It's a press conference. For the ones. Exactly. So we got to get them to, I'm going to be there. You guys better be there. It's a cool thing to do. Here we go. This is for all our reclaimers. It's called Recoup 2020. Am I not deserving of nice things? Of a doorway that leads home, of a window to call my own, of dirty dishes that can sit for hours, of hallways that echo memories, of a bookshelf that needs dusting, or a roof over my head that I can stare at from my bed sheets that hold my flesh and sin and sueños. 4 walls, the house of the North Star, EastSide Los Angeles, La Casa del Sur, West Coast for directions, roof of my mouth, floor catches my fall, as above, so below. Are we not deserving of nice things? 20 families in search for more. The neighbors kick in the door and the glass cuts through skin pores. California Highway Patrol rolls in with hogties and roars. Orders to restore empty homes to housing of a ghost of the Caltrans corridor. Crimes against humanity. Capitalist mentality, brutal symphony, disrupt ceremony of hearth. Mi cuerpo un caracol. Rebirth. Reclaim, rename ourselves rebellion. Remember our abuelos' wrath. We are the rose that grew from blood. We are the bullet that resurrects. And we are the key that opens the chest. Are we not deserving of nice things? I have bolt cutters to the gate, showing up in the morning of your American dream, blow off some steam in your coffee cup. And I'm going to make you drop a routine. This is no longer make-believe. This is a 2020 reality. Burst in with the candor of your lust. This life is more explicit than it seems, and us seeking shelter rearranges your dreams. Us piercing into your nightmare streams because you're one paycheck away from our extreme, and it makes you mad at a 9-to-5 mentality. You wake up midlife crisis. A midlife crisis. Someone is already dead. And you realize you are me. Okay, I don't really do this. So I want to read a love poem. This is for Ray. Look at this guy over here. Oh, wait. Hey. Okay. All right. This is my last poem, and then we're on to the next. September. There are no regrets, and certain things keep us kept, keep us whole, keep us real. And the night came too fast, revealed the truth hidden in our chest, said, go home, meant to say, come home. Be gentle with your heart. The beats repeat, the start of a new horizon. Remember, slumber gives us new perspectives from the go, go, go. And you, my love, in our caress reminds us why we are still here, still alive. Survival is not done alone, but in the seconds that bind us together. Kiss the nectar of your neck to give thanks to live this fall birth, this love that fell from the sky, that was etched in heavens, that continues to grow suns bright as the iris of your eye. reflections of us. Spin a dance of galaxies, bliss under the speakers. The blast of our surrender under sheets, caress that cures. Our secrets are becoming, are blooming in this September that binds us, that carries our songs into the future, a fortress of infinite forevers, whenever your lips touch mine, moving through a time clock to talk our dreams into daylight, and we awake together to light, to always. Look at this guy. Look at. I can't. Aw, I love you, babe. Okay, but you got. Oh, here we go. This next feature is one of my padrinos in poetry. I don't even want to read his bio because I just speak out of my heart for days for Luis J. Rodriguez. He's running for governor of California. Everybody go vote. All of you for him. Luis and Trini are lights of my life. Tia Chuchas is a sister space to EastSide Cafe, right? So we had Corazón del Pueblo. We have our sister space in Santana. What's the name, Angie? Centro Cultural. We have our sister spaces, right? So when EastSide Cafe was founded 20 years ago, give it up. We started, it was a movement, and then just EastSide, Tia Chuchas, Corazón del Pueblo in Bow Heights, Sammy's coming up later. Wait for it. Santana, and it's just such a blessing to all the jarochos, all the poets, we all found each other in that way. But I really am gonna read Luis's bio because it's badass. Luis J. Rodriguez has 16 books in poetry. Fiction, nonfiction, children's books. He's the founding editor of Tia Chucha Press, which publishes primarily poetry collections and anthologies. The co-founder of Tia Chucha Centro Cultural and Bookstore in the Northeast San Fernando Valley. For poetry, he's won fellowships from Lannan Foundation, California, Illinois, North Carolina, Chicago, Los Angeles, and the Sundance Institute. He walks around like he doesn't know it. Luis is just very humble. Okay, his poetry awards include Lilla Wallace Reader's Digest Writers Award, a Patron's Lifetime Achievement Literary Award, a Poetry Center Book Award, and more. His last poetry book is Borrowed Bones, Curbstone Books, Northwestern University Press. From 2014 to 2016, he served as the Los Angeles official poet laureate. Give it up!
So it's really an honor to be here. I'm going to tell you one thing. That I'm not going to do campaign stuff, but I will say one thing. If ever we have a governor like myself, maybe it may not be me, but like me, we will have spaces like this in every neighborhood and every barrio. We need arts, music, dance, theater. We need murals. We need festivals. We need everything that is missing. It's really sad because I grew up in a barrio like a lot of you where none of this existed. And I was just in the Central Valley. I just have to say this. For miles, no bookstores, no cultural cafes, no street lights, no stop signs. We were in this one barrio, there was nothing there. Poor Trini, Try to look at the phone. If it's for me, tell them I'm busy. No, just kidding. But the thing is, it's still happening in our neighborhoods. We're not that far removed. You know, where you got whole parts of California where there's nothing going on. You have kids in the street corners with nothing, literally nothing. Libraries are open 2 days a week, if at all. So I have to mention that because this is sad in the state of California. Sad. We don't need that. So I'm really going to honor poetry by reading some poetry. So, and I'm going to read some poems I don't normally read. I mean, I think what's more important to me isn't so much all those awards, accolades. What's most important to me is in '68, I walked out with the East LA kids. You know what I mean? I got arrested in the Chicano moratorium, you know? To me, it was always about that I came out of that blooming that was our movimiento, our gente, that people say has died. It never died for me, never died for Trini, and never died for all these communities. We're still there, we're still fighting, and we're thriving in our spirit. We're thriving with our work and our art, and that to me is what's really more important. But I will have to say that sometimes we did have hard times, and I'm gonna read your poem, a very short poem, one of my earliest poems, because I was thinking about my mother recently for a lot of reasons, but one of them is that she was a garment industry worker, as you know, and we used to have a lot of garment industry. It's almost all gone. Now there are little shops here and there. You spot them everywhere. And one of the worst things she did was called piecework. You all know what piecework is. Well, in those days, they would bring in pieces of cloth, and you would have to, I mean, for cents, you would have to put them together, and it didn't matter how many hours it took you. They come in the end of the week and pick up whatever dresses or whatever you're supposed to have made. So my mom would be going all night long. I mean, getting all messed up, you know, hair everywhere, her eyes getting really sad all night long. And they brought this big, giant sewing machine to our little one-room apartment, not even apartment, a one-room house in the barrio South San Gabriel. You know, it was a little shack. I mean, it was such, all our walls had caved in because the walls were like paper, and all, me and my brother and sister were always fighting and everything. All the walls were caved in. But anyway, they put this machine right in the middle of this thing, and it rocked everything. It's like an earthquake every night. My poor mom worked. So I called it the monster. And here's the poem. It erupted into our lives. Two guys in jeans shoved it through the door, heaving and grunting and biting lower lips. A large industrial sewing machine. We called it the monster. It came on a winter's day, rented out of mother's pay. Once in the living room, the walls seemed to cave in around it. Black footsteps to our door brought heaps of cloth for mama to sew. Noises of war burst out of the living room. Rafters rattled, floors farted, the radio going into static each time the needle ripped into fabric. Many nights I'd get up from bed, wander squinty-eyed down a hallway, and peer through a dust-covered blanket to where Mama and the monster did nightly battle. I could see Mama through the yellow haze of a single light bulb. She slouched over the machine, her eyes almost closed, her hair in disheveled braids, each stitch binding her life to scraps of cloth. See if I can find this other poem. So what helped me get out of a lot of trouble was the movimiento. Everybody knows that, but I'm going to tell you how, you have no idea how important that statement is. I was on heroin for 7 years. I was homeless for 3 years. I was in and out of jail, I was juvenile hall, I was in 2 adult facilities. I was not supposed to be here. And if it wasn't for that movement of people and struggle and kids walking out of schools and parents organizing, I wouldn't be here. If it wasn't for any of you, I wouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? That's really what is important to me. And I'm not sure if I can find the poem I was going to read, but I'll tell you what, I'll read a poem similar to it. So I did all that drugs, and then the movement got me out of it. I did cold turkey in the county jail the last time I was in jail to get out of heroin. Yeah, and that's a whole story in itself. I don't want to get into it. I got other poems. It's the hardest thing I ever done. And anybody that's ever done cold turkey heroin, you know what I'm talking about. But then I drank for 20 years. I kept, messing up and drank for 20 years. And luckily, I finally got clean in Chicago. My beautiful wife, my son Ramiro's here. He knows because he's been through the same thing. We are both now clean and sober. He's been clean and sober 23 years now, mijo. Yeah, and I've been clean and sober 29 years. So we've been really, But I just want to read. I don't write too much about this stuff. I want to read one poem of my drinking days, and it's about this young woman who was my drinking partner. She wasn't anything else other than a drinking partner. You know what I'm saying? We only loved each other because when we were drinking, that kind of thing. And so it's called Rosalie Has Candles. Rosalie has candles in a circle around her bed. One night, as I lay on a couch in a tequila stupor, she takes off my shoes and trousers, pulls a cover over me, and snips 2 inches of hair from my head. She places the hair in a glass near the candles. I don't know why. I don't know why she searches for me. I don't know how she finds me in the bars. I don't know why she ridicules the women I like and uses me to meet men. Rosalie usually finds solace in a glass of whiskey. In my face, she finds the same thing. I don't know why. We argue too much. We feign caring and then hurt each other with indifference. With others, we are tough and mean, but in the quiet of darkness, we hold each other and caress like kittens. She says she can only make love to someone when she is drunk. She says she loves men but has lesbian friends. She loves being looked at. I want to hide. She hates struggle. That's all I do. She has gods to pray to. I just curse. I don't know what she sees in my face or hands for that matter. I only know I need her like whiskey. I want to do one last one. I know there's so many great poets, and I want to listen to all of you. Thank you, Michael, for all this great work. Thank you, EastSide Cafe, and yes, without making more of it, vote for me. So. Informational purposes only. I don't want to get nobody in trouble. So I just want to read one really short poem, but it has to do with one of the things I love doing about poetry, because, again, the movement got me into poetry, so I got into it right away and been doing poetry for 50 years. And I was part of the movement in the 70s in East LA of poetry, and I had an office at Self-Help Graphics, and we had Chisme Arte magazine, and we had the poetry reading series, and we had the Body Writers Workshop. We had all this stuff going on, me and Marisol Gamboa and a whole mess of people. And then I went to Chicago and got involved with the poetry slams and got very active with that, and I helped start the Guild Complex, which was at the time the leading poetry slam place for the longest time. And I just found out recently the high school I barely managed to graduate from because I dropped out of school, got kicked out of 3 schools, but I went back, got my diploma. Mark Hipple High School in Alhambra just won the LA County Poetry Slam contest. Can you imagine? My old high school. And I hadn't been there in 50 years, and about 3 weeks ago, whatever it was, they invited me to come there, and I was speaking to all these kids in the auditorium, beautiful kids. It was a wonderful, wonderful thing that happened. So I'm going to try to read you this one poem if I can find, because one of the things that I did in Chicago is I went to prisons, and I did it in LA too, but I went to prisons, juvenile lockups, but also homeless shelters. I spent a lot of time, I worked for the Coalition for the Homeless in Chicago, but also I did these beautiful books of poetry from the women, and it was a really great thing. And I want to read you a poem that I wrote based on this. I'm sorry that I should have had this done together. We had this one thing that we would do that the women said is like write really long poems, but then write poems that were too short to braid. One of the women said that, just short little poems. You can't really braid them, but they're beautiful. So I would write them. So let me see if I can find you the poem that I want to read. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm not going to find it. So I'll just read you this one other poem. And, híjole. Okay. Well, since I can't find it, I'm going to read you another poem, and that's it. This poem has to do with first time I went to Europe, I think, was in 1991. I took my wife, Trini. We went to Paris. We were invited to do all these readings. And I went to a number of bookstores that catered to the English-speaking population that was there. One of them, if you ever go to Paris, is Shakespeare and Company. You should go there. It's a beautiful space. They have an amazing amount of books. And one of the things they offer me is for 10 days and 10 nights, I could stay there for free. They had a thing called the Tumbleweed Hotel. You could stay for free if every afternoon I would spend time talking poetry to whoever showed up. Can you imagine? Man, me and Trini had a great time. But the place, the Tumbleweed Hotel, had burned down. And so they were concerned about that because they had to raise money. So I wrote a poem for them that eventually was used in a book that was sold similar to what you're trying to do, that ended up rebuilding the space. Go to Paris, go to Shakespeare and Company. It's on the left bank across from the Notre Dame. Beautiful space. The guy that actually owned it passed, but we got to be really good friends. I'll tell you one funny story, then I'll do the poem. You know how people get winos? You got a lot of winos running around here. They go to this liquor store. Not this wino, but they go to liquor stores that for $2, there used to be $1.99, you get the cheapest wine, right? In Paris, the winos have the best, great French wines. They're drinking that big fancy stuff. I go, man, they don't got that cheap stuff here. You know, so they're walking around with this big fancy French wine, $200 bottles. I'm telling you, it's funny. And they're going around getting drunk on this stuff. So anyway, I had to tell you that story. This is called Poem for Shakespeare and Company, and it's really just to say the love of books for me, the love of poetry. I found books when I was homeless, going to the downtown library. I've been in books all my life. That's why we have the only bookstore now in the Northeast San Fernando Valley for kids. And this is important for kids, for everybody. So it goes like this, Poem for Shakespeare and Company. There is a burnt room above the Shakespeare and Company bookstore. A library once full of books, now ash. Oh yeah, it was the Cerro Beach Library that had burned down. It speaks of how books burned so well. The pulp and cloth ablaze like great forest fires. But George Whitman, he was the guy that owned it at the time, knows books burn bright without flame. Every voice at Shakespeare and Company is the hum of minds ablaze in books. And Whitman has books to kill for. At the Tumbleweed Hotel, there are books on faces on every wall. There are photos of Whitman with the fiery eyes of revolution. There are books and faces that are humanity's hobbled steps toward heaven. Here, words swirled around me as fire does around a book, and I know I am the pulp and cloth these walls were meant to engulf. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Fire always. Also, I want to invite you guys out to the Always Run. Who's read Always Running? Okay, I'm just going to do a little story. When I was studying creative writing at UC Santa Cruz, all my professors were white guys, and I hated it. And one day, Luis Rodriguez came, and you spoke at my Kresge College. You did the Always Running. You were presenting the book. Changed my life. Yeah. So there's a festival tomorrow that the LA Poet Society puts on. It's the first one, but it's like dedicated to the book, Luis. So I really want you guys to know like how important he is to us poets. But vote for him too. Okay, moving forward. Is Matt Cedillo in the house? This guy, I swear, wait, you gotta wait. I'm introducing you. He always does this. Him and I have like a brother-sister thing where like we love and hate each other. We're both from El Sereno. We grew up in libraries and shit. but then he's like always trying to be better. And then like, but I'm the girl version, so I'm better. Here we go. Matt Cedillo, hailed as the best political poet in America. But that's for real. He's badass. He's going to Italy and Paris. Okay, side bio. Poet laureate of the struggle by acclaimed historians and journalists, Cedillo has spoken at over 100 campuses across the United States and on 3 continents. He's about to add more continents. What? He's the author of Mowing Leaves of Grass and City on the Second Floor. You're about to be dropped to your knees real quick. Matt Cedillo.
Oh man, what an honor. So yeah, did everyone see me run by when he said like winos? Like, I had like 2 choices. Either I just peed all over myself as he was talking about winos, or I ran across. You know, you gotta, always running. All right. Sundown, Levittown, Fort Apache, Dirty Harry, John Wayne, Blackface, Minuteman, Moynihan, Gone with the Wind, Breaking Bad. Washington Redskin, Confederate flag, the sword, the dollar, the cannon, the scholar, the cavalry, and the Ivy League histories written by lightning as the rising smoke of burning village. The ways in which victors keep their victims' frontispiece some notes on the state of Virginia extraction, expansion, the winning of the West, Lewis and Clark, Smith and Wesson, on circle the wagon with bloodshed and slave sweat, the crack of the whip, the law 3/5, the Crown Republic of King Cotton, the intended failures of Reconstruction, the housing covenants that greeted great migrations the same to the Mexicans of poor Mexico, so far from heaven and so close to Monroe Doctrine, to Davy Crockett, to prison industrial complex, a war on drugs is a war on our young. Bloody Christmas, Reefer Madness, 15 to life for 4 ounces, East Oakland, West Baltimore, South La Brea and all over North, Plymouth Rock, Jamestown, the Rio Grande, stolen lives, stolen land. So the reason I'm so late is I got here from Encinitas. I was doing another show with Sonia Gutierrez, David Romero, and Brianna Munoz, all part of the Flower Song family. Edie's part of it, so really, really glad to be here. And thank you, Edie. And I don't really know what's happening. How long do I have up here? 10 minutes. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Give us 2 more good ones. 2 more good ones, as opposed to the bad ones? All right, here's another one, and then I'll give you another one after that. Some were born in summer homes and palatial groves, where pain was only to ever unfold from the pages of secret gardens where Redfern grows, but not I. See, I come from the stock of star-eyed astronauts who greet the night sky with big dreams and wide eyes, always running down the devil's highway through occupied America, all the way back to house on Mango Street, and all the books he wants to read. Raised on handball off the back wall of a panaderia born east the river post Mendez versus Westminster, one generation with the red lines. And diplomas that were signed that those dreams in that skin need not apply. See, I come from struggle. And if my story offends you, it was only because you made the mistake of seeking your reflection in my self-portrait. See, this was meant to be about you. Because some were born of the common core, whose reflected faces grace the pages of doctrines discovered and age to be explored. Where old world hardships crashed against new shores, New England, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, for others pushed off Turtle Island. Aslan, do not call this brown-skinned immigrant. Child of the sun, son of the conquest, Mexicano blood, running through the veins of the east side of Los Angeles. Do not tell him, if a native tongue a song will best be sung. Do not tell me who I am, because I was raised like you. Miseducated in some of those very same schools off lessons and legends of honest Indians and Christian pilgrims and a nation of immigrants all united in freedom. That isn't until they pulled aside my white friend, pointed directly at me and said, Scott, I judge you by the company you keep and you spend your time with this. In that same old store, it's 1846. The adventurous Uncle Sam, the stick-up man, a wetback. Show me your papers, now give me your labor. The melting pot was never made for the hands that clean it. The American dream has always come at the expense of those who tucked it in. You don't know that, because you don't teach it. Could write you a book, but you won't read it, so you know this is about you. In 1492, and the Treaty of Guadalupe and California missions and Arizona schools, and these racists that try to race us as their kids in cities that bear our names. But you can learn some of their days from Ferdinand to Minuteman, from Arpaio to Alamo, from Pope Voodoo to Joaquin to the Indian, as it lives in me from May 8 to 1743 and try to bury us. They didn't know we were seeds, Canadian minds, they don't strike the Pandiola, Mizapata, Joaquin Murrieta, Atalitas, Brown Berezi, Zapatistas from Richard Nixon, there's Napoleon, from Peckinpah to Houston, from Lone Star Republic to Christopher Columbus, all the way down to Donald and Trump. We didn't cross the borders crossed us. Who you calling immigrant? Pilgrim. Thanks. So as you all know, Luis Rodriguez is running for governor. We got to support Luis. Luis is for the people. And Luis is a man of the people. He's for the people. And poetry like bread is for everyone, and so is Luis. So we gotta go out there. We gotta support Luis in this effort. It's really important. Tomorrow there is a festival always running, so there'll be a chance to come by and make donations, stuff like that. I'm sure some from the campaign's here you get to talk to. I'm gonna do one more poem, and this poem is from my next book, City on the Second Floor. Those last two are from Mowing Leaves of Grass. This one's from City on the Second Floor, and this poem is what we call a persona poem, meaning it's a fake poem, meaning it's a character poem, meaning I'm not the person I'm pretending to be. And I need everyone to know that because I've been protested doing this poem before, which is so bizarre because it's not like I'm not like some racist or sexist. I'm not like a bigot in this poem. I'm a billionaire in this poem. So no, I'm not really actually a billionaire. I'm a poet who sells books. I don't know what people are thinking. Like, people come up like, we will rise up against you while I was doing this poem. And I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm a billionaire. And I've come to this open mic in Pico Rivera to laugh in all 6 of your faces. That's what's going on right now. No. All right, so one last poem. It's called The Rich. And I'm not really rich. I actually need you to buy my books. But I'll tell you what, tonight, if you buy a book from me, I'm gonna sell them at 20, and I'm gonna give 10 to EastSide Cafe, and I'm gonna give the other 10 to Luis Rodriguez's campaign. So I get nothing. Here we go. The rich, well, they're not like you and me. They see an opportunity, they grab it. Reach for the stars and they put them in their pocket. Company stays in the red, but they're backed by the government. Snort the public dime to lines of pure profit. Research and development, the rich, well, they different breed. Champagne wishes and caviar dreams, thoroughbred stallions, quarterly matched on the sea, Deepwater Horizon, blood diamonds, golden parachutes, silicon messiahs, feasting on endangered species, served on silver platters and winter palaces, carved from the tips of icebergs, six-figure charters, $1 million cufflinks looking life like an apple, insured by suicide nets, lifestyles of the criminally negligent, but you haven't lived until you've launched a car into space for no reason. And that's what I call freedom. The rich, well, here's how it is. Dollars and cents, trademark and rent, facts and figures, lines and ledger, derivatives and debt, building the future, increased productivity, union busting back to the 100-hour work week, treating the fat person monopolies with real money, shorts, and bets. Now, my friend, so the rich stay rich while the rest make poor decisions in its pure ecstasy, living in the lap of luxury, pushing pharmaceuticals to mark up the market will bear your body to its altar at a life or death bargain, the gospel of wealth, because it is what it is, and that's all it's ever been. The less we spend, the more we keep. You see, the rich and the poor, well, they're just like you and me. 2 hands, 2 feet. The sky, the sea, and one heart that beats, and the time to make the most of it. So find no sympathy reaching into these deep pockets. All we ever asked was for our fair share. And God damn it, that's all of it. So out on the streets, scream for peace and justice. We sleep in satin sheets, drink free and guiltless over oceans and tariffs, liquidating pensions off the bid on porcelain and portraits at billion-dollar auctions. You know you need us. You know we're selling your secrets. You know still sending DNA kits, watching the puppets on television, debate freedom, free speech, fascism, democracy. We'll reach in the earth and punch through the ozone and fuel the economy with space stations. Yes, space stations, hydrating the red planet. We're gonna survive this lava pit. So you got pots and pans, we got deeds and plans. Chopping down rainforest, colonizing the moon. We're the rich. Who the are you? We'll privatize the water supply, then copyright the tears falling from your eyes. Burn it all down. What the hell are you talking about? The ice caps already melting. You wanna start some eat the rich? We're already killing your kids. One carbon footprint, gas house emission, one oil rig, one naval ship, one free trade agreement at a time, and we'll get away with it too. Nothing we say or do is ever held against us. Haven't you been paying attention? We're rich. Matt Cedillo, the best political poet in America.
Besides me. I'm kidding. Matt is the best political poet in America. For real, support Matt. He is like a true artist to his word. He's gonna give half to the East Side and half to Luis Rodriguez campaign. Like, what's up? You get free poetry. I mean, not free. You have to pay, but you get some good poetry. We all need poetry books because like you don't have to read them all at once. You can just like pick it like one day you're like, I'm gonna read today. And then you pick up the poetry book and then you read 2 poems, you're done. I love you, Matt. Don't go anywhere. Another world is possible. Okay. You guys are not even ready for this one. It just keeps getting better and better, though. Melissa doesn't even know how much of a crush I have on her because Melissa was at Santa Cruz when I was at Santa Cruz. She was one of the poets at the open mics. She was doing queer-ass, beautiful poetry in the 1990s, being all badass. And I was like, I want to be her when I grow up. Okay, but that's my bio for her, but this is her real bio. This is her real bio. That's my bio for you, but this is the real thing. Melissa Bañales, aka Missy Fuego, is an author, advocate, and adventurer. Originally from LA, she went north in the 90s. Checks out. Where she was a fixture in spoken word, slam, and queer artist communities of the SF Bay Area from 1996 to 2011, touring with Sister Spit and Body Heat. She competed on 3 national slam teams, 98, 99, and 2002, and was Grand Slam champion in 2002. Her short films have appeared at Frameline and Outfest, and she was the inaugural winner of the Jury Award at the Los Angeles Transgender Film Festival in 2011. Give it up, guys. For real. Like, okay, when we have to write bios, it's like, what do I put on it, though? But, like, these are legit accomplishments. Like, this Missy Fuego. No, this Missy Fuego. Like, girl, you did it. Anyway.
My mommy said that.
Okay, sorry, I got to go on. They served as a lecturer of literature and creative writing at UC San Diego from 2015 to 2020. She was the 2016 Lambada Literary Finalist for the Best LGBTQ Debut Fiction for their novel, Life is Wonderful, People Are Terrific. Their recent work includes 2 spoken word multimedia curations at the Broad Museum in Los Angeles, as well as being one of the 5 LA poets featured on the Billboard Project. Did you guys see her up there? The Billboard Project in West Hollywood for National Poetry Month in 2020. They were also a teaching artist this year at the Aizen Festival at Yerba Buena, honoring the work of their late friend, Gloria E. Anzaldúa. Give it up for Anzaldúa. Their next book, Root for the Underdog, is a collection of poems available on SPD Books in fall 2020. They live in Los Angeles and Central California on unsucceeded Tongva and Chumash land. Give it up for Missy Fuego.
I remember all those professors that didn't like Luis's book. In fact, I remember after I brought Luis's book into a workshop, I brought in one of my poems, and the professor said, "This poem just sounds so ethnic." Like, this is where we were at in 1998 in creative writing programs. And I was like, really, that's all you have to say? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, that about sums it the fuck up right now. Okay, so I just was like, wow. So, Luis, thank you. We can't celebrate you enough and honor you enough. And of course, I want to give it up for Michael Bracero, who brought this program together, VOZ. Like, when Michael's just wonderful. This poem is called Dig. I want to tell you about my grandmother and planting roses, how getting the soil just right for the seeds requires your whole body, crouched, hunched, both hands, both arms, working, massaging, rotating. My abuelita didn't use a shovel, just some water, her hands, patience. She waited for the ground to invite her. And when the mud slid through her fingers, she went in. In this story, I am 11 years old and I go with her. Though it starts slow, it quickly gathers momentum. And there we are, pushing, all sweating, all smells, all dark and thick. It's always an ugly business getting to something so beautiful, she would say. Can you turn the earth, mija? I keep going. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm gonna take that line back. It's always an ugly business getting to something so beautiful, she would say. Can you turn the earth, mija? I keep going. Find my chest to the ground, my neck bent. I'll be honest with you. I was holding back then because I was afraid to get dirty, afraid I wouldn't get the stains out of my knees, afraid to be surrounded, to be held. I didn't know if I'd make it back from the mud. Effort, she'd whisper. Keep going. The sun to my back, I pushed to get through. The moment when the seeds could drop was so close, and I wanted it to happen, but didn't know if my hands could get the job done. But we kept going. And before I knew it, I felt something give, and I stopped. Took a shallow breath in my flat girl chest and pulled out. Now just sit, just for a minute, Tita said. I couldn't hear the freeway over my tita's house in North Hollywood, or the wires buzzing with electricity, or someone's favorite show, or a phone call goodbye. I only remember the sky. It was so blue, and a small wind found my face. I want you to know that this is how you make me feel when I'm thick in you, when I fall into you like a fool who only knows trust in this moment, when the whole of myself lets loose. I am up to my arms in you. Can I put my chest to the altar of your heart? I'll be honest with you. I'm not holding back. I'm here to make a mess of you because only the brave aren't afraid to get lost. They live to be consumed, so let me get lost in you. Let me see if I can use both hands to see inside your past, your pain, your hurt, your desire, and write a different ending. I enjoy the dark, the quiet. It is always an ugly business getting to something so beautiful. I want you to know that I come from a long line of growers, and I am not afraid to dig. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. In the interest of time, I'm just going to read one more. My father passed away 8 months ago from cancer, and it's been a really, really hard ride. It was 5 years of him being sick, and then he passed. And when someone passes, all you have left are their words, right? In fact, I spend so much time just closing my eyes trying to remember what my dad's voice sounds like. It's like I almost can't remember. But I do remember this poem, and I dedicate it to my pop, Eddie Banales. Grace. My father used to tell me there are things worse than this. There is disease and heartbreak. There is sadness, desperation, and somewhere somebody ruined a birthday cake or ate the last cookie. There is loneliness and war and flames all the time. There is a side of the bed that's cold, someone who has no bed, someone who has no one to miss. There is never writing home, not having a home, forgetting the way home through memory, blood, and dreams. There is fear of bombs, sharks, planes, snakes, and highways. There is loving too much, not loving enough, loving the wrong way, never loving. There is loss. There is locking the keys in the car, forgetting where you parked the car, living in a car. There is a long day. A day that never comes, a day that came too soon, a day no one remembers or looks forward to. There is grief, resentment, and sore losers. There is losing over. Losing the mind, heart, favorite shirt, the lottery, only person you trusted, lucky underwear, a photograph of a girl you once were, taken by someone who thought you'd be famous someday. Hope, soul, cracks through fingers, never tasting ice cream or knowing a first kiss could be worse, he'd say. Could be, mija. Even in a thick winter night, a night when I still can't forget you and all the reasons we're wrong for each other. All the ways you knew how to touch me. All the nights you wrapped yourself around me like a coat or a sonnet. Even now, I find myself feeling thankful. Thank you.
Give it up, Missy. Did I say fuego? I said fire. Give it up. There's an OG. There's an OG right here. Like, you guys don't even know. Missy, you inspired so many of us.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Okay. Also, make sure, like, yes, we're supporting the East Side tonight. We got to give back. It takes a lot to run this space. We're community run. We're all volunteers. Like, if you guys have $1, is there a tip jar or something? If you have $1, like, tip into the jar because it takes a lot to keep the lights on, right? But also support the poets. So I think Missy, Alma, you guys have chapbooks, like you're selling some stuff. Matt has books. I have one book to sell. Luis has books. Where's Luis? No, we got books. Ramiro over there. Okay, Ramiro. And we have prints. Okay, let's support VOZ. How about that? How about that? And Cali Arte. Okay, come here. I need, yes. Yes, you're not part of the program, but come here. Like Alfonso and his wife. Come here, Adriana. But look at these guys. These people are amazing. And if you know their art and you know their souls, you really have to support this project because, like, that print, let's show them the print. Show them the print. Show them the print. You all make woke ass art, like beautiful art. I mean, you're personal to me in a different way because you guys did work for my book, my first book. But honestly, like, these people are hustlers. They're at every pop-up. They're just like, please buy something, guys. That's all I'm saying. I love you.
We don't have nothing today.
No, we weren't here to promote ourselves. We were actually.
I know, but I want to promote you.
I know. No, I mean, thankfully we're able to not do so much spending. Now we can actually go and enjoy the event. We're at self-help, artists in residence there. So we're actually getting paid to do what we've always done.
Hey.
It's taken us a lot of years, but it feels good to just be able to come out and enjoy a night of poetry.
Aww.
Thank you, Mike.
Yes, thank you, Michael.
Aww. Okay, follow them on the IG, Cali Arte, K with a K, Cali, Kalli Arte. All right, moving forward. We have 3 beautiful poets left. You guys are in for a treat. You better stay for the last one because she's one of my favorites. Here we go. Okay, Sammy. Where do I know Sammy from? Corazón del Pueblo. He's on the cover of Brooklyn and Boyle, like looking all bad and shit. This guy, he's a real OG too. We're all OGs, okay? Sammy Quetzali. Sammy Carrera, a community advocate, poet, and Boyle Heights native, has organized gang-involved youth and began performing spoken word poetry at Corazón del Pueblo, a community center which introduced him to grassroots organizing in 2010. Eventually, he would become a board member. He has performed at Central Juvenile Hall and other juvenile placement facilities. Give it up for Sammy!
Thank you. This is Selena. This is Maya. I think Selena wants to say something real quick.
I love you. Please welcome my daddy up the stage.
Yeah. She's my hype person. Alrighty, y'all. I'm gonna do quick two poems. But first, felicidades to the EastSide Cafe on 20 beautiful, strong years. Appreciate y'all. So this first one is titled Bilingüe. Sorry, I'm searching it up real quick, sorry. All right, here goes, y'all. Rest in power to all those deceased, to those who rock them 501s, freshly creased, double XL tall white tees, bottom of the pants folded only once, over them Chuck T's. Homie stood tall in them fresh fits. Little youngins barely 5'3", talking about, yeah, let me get them size 44 in waist by 32 in length, blue Ben Davis Spantas. Doñas in the cut, rolling their eyes, talking about, ay muchacho, una persona bilingüe vale por dos en este país. But unbeknownst to most, little homie doing the absolute most by using his apparel to communicate his section and hint of his destined peril through a clandestine means. Understood only by them calle dwellers, midnight walkers, los gallos bien trucha al cien y al pendiente. Is this what the doña means by bilingüe? Fluent in a different kind of language. Hey, homie, what's up with that B-hat? So much to say with such limited words, so they use their firme garras, sometimes trapo-like. The lokes are the adjectives and the Cortez the exclamation points, like, homie's got a point to prove out here because at home, well, never mind, they never really listen. Raised to be secluded and viewed as a nuisance, a suppressed voice will always morph into a loud noise, or at least into a destructive expression, alleviating the tension, eliminating apprehension. Homie said, it feels good to be abrasive. Because all I've ever been embraced with was barely enough food to keep me alive. Around here, we have mastered the art of converting the lack of emotional sustenance into an underground dialect. Language is power. We powerfully express ourselves as a means of survival to live and rest in power. Thank you. Gracias. So this one's titled Tired. And unfortunately, so I wrote this one when George Floyd passed away. And then it seems so relevant still, with what just happened, in Texas. And so, yeah. I'm so tired of being tired. When will my people get to rest? Got a huge knot in my throat and on my chest. All these killings got me feeling an emotional distress. How can I even try to decompress? during unprecedented times of civil unrest. Paranoia got me thinking who the hell might be next. I hold my baby in my arms and I see the future in her eyes. I'll have succeeded as a father if I've taught her how to see straight through the evil eyes. For now, I'll grab her tiny hand and I'll clench it into a raised fist. My hope is to teach my daughters to be resilient like templos in Teotihuacan, colorful and vibrant like murals on Soto and Chavez, different and complex like tres puntos tatted underneath the side of the eye, intelligent like tamaleras feeding our construction workforce at 5 in the morning next to gas stations where laborers congregate, poetic like Republic of East LA short stories, wise like medicine women disguised as abuelitas. I hope I can teach them to invoke the power and love of their ancestors like mi nana Julia, who stood only at about 4 foot something, se fue echando escobazos casi hasta el último día, because she towered with strength and power through obstacles which must have been designed to break down the most toughest of men. I'm so tired of being tired. It's time we get free. Gracias. Thank you.
Oh, Sammy. Give it up for Sammy. I haven't heard this bro in so long, but every time, like, okay, we're all different types of poets. I'm a page poet, so I like to read, so you guys don't really look at me. But Sammy's always been one of the spoken words. Like, you just spit the fire. I appreciate you, bro. Okay, moving forward. We're almost at the end. Nobody leaves. I'm kidding. Steve, are you here? Oh, Steve's like, I've been waiting, girl. Steve Valenzuela. I've never met you before. Well, apparently there's no introduction needed, but I'm still gonna read your bio, bro. Steve Valenzuela is a poet and educator from the city of El Monte. Maybe we have met. He's also co-founder of the One Mic Collective. Yes. Oh, I know the One Mic. A group that organizes open mic events in the SGV where people can share their art. He sees his classroom and his community as spaces in need of poetry and art to grow, heal, inquire, and build. He has been lucky enough to be featured at the Sunday Jump Youth Justice Collective and to be published in Burn the Wagon and now at EastSide Cafe. Bring it up, Steve.
Oh, yeah. All right. Shout out to everyone that came here. Shout out to people from Monte. Shout out to my students. There's some students over here. There might be some students out there. I don't know. Yeah, it's very humbling. Anyways, I'm going to try not to talk too much and just let the poetry do the talking for me. This first piece is about El Monte, but you could just input whatever city you're from, and you'll probably be able to relate. El Monte, the center of the SGV, notorious for Flores and crooked police. Rest in peace, David Vieira, Jose Sanchez, and Cole An Lee. For those that don't know, this city's got a bipolar disease that many don't see. If you need proof, take a walk from the north side of Pecan down to the Clings, where people are packed into apartments tighter than a can of sardines. But up in the north, the neighborhoods stay clean. Ears deaf to the sounds that the south side screams. Too many people don't see that they're killing our dreams in the name of economic progression. So I rhyme with passion mixed with righteous aggression. You see, the city council thinks they have the perfect plan to deal with poverty. It's ignore the poor and construct homes they can never afford. Doesn't matter if they've lived here since before we were born. Invest millions for a hotel on Valley, but we can't build homes for the homeless in the alleys. They want a Walmart on Arden to get rid of the so-called Mexican stores. In fact, they just voted to remove Trader Parks to be replaced with more expensive apartments. But it's nothing new. The poor always get hit the hardest. El Monte, you're my heart, my inspiration, my true motivation. So I won't allow this selfish form of defecation. Fuck systematic displacement. It's happening throughout this entire forsaken nation. We can't be complacent. There's no need to be patient. The time is now to react. Rage against the machine and take the power back. Take a look around. You know that everything's changing. And if we don't do something now, we're all gonna drown in a sea of policies that are funded by greed, never meant for you and me. So be aware of their misleading lying language before before we all languish. When they say beautification, that's code word for gentrification, which means your broke ass is about to take a permanent vacation. High-end retail means mom and pop stores will fail, and big corporations take their money to add to their sales. Modernization means the cost of living will rise, and we already know the rent's too damn high, so open up your eyes and realize the enterprise of our demise and how tyranny's disguised. More retail means more cops on the block, protecting private profits, and the longer we take, the longer we wait, the harder it's gonna be to stop it. But together we got this. We can stand up to the nonsense, disrupt the grandiose plans, let them know this is our sacred land. El Monte, our heart, our inspiration, make this city our sole occupation. All right. All right. Thank you for that. Yeah, shout out to my city and all the Monteros and Monteros out there right now. All right. This one's about self-care. I feel like people talk about, oh, self-care, self-care. I tell my students, oh, self-care, but then I'm like, what the hell does that even mean? And it pisses me off sometimes when people tell me to practice self-care. But I realize I get pissed off because it's my own vulnerability that I'm afraid of, right? So I wrote this and it started off because I was pissed off, like, stop telling me to take care of myself. And somehow in the end, I was like, oh, this poem made me help me take care of myself. They tell me I need self-care, but I don't care. They're unaware of the fare, the tax of life, so unfair, full of strife, so hard to unwind. I don't have the time to escape my mind. If ignorance is bliss, then bliss is blind, but not me. I see the world's disease, don't ignore the agony. Obvious as leprosy, depressing me, stressing me, sure to be the death of me. We're in a state of denigration, the damage is blatant. So much hatred in this matrix, my thoughts are abrasive. Hurting my brain, I try not to complain. I'll say, I'm doing fine. The face I portray to the outside, where people struggles with realities I've never seen, where nothing gleams, where poverty crushes dreams like a jackhammer on the street, killing the roses trying to go in concrete. Man, fuck them machines, we got mouths to feed, minds to unleash. I'm trying to form an ulcer in the belly of this beast. We are the remedy, so fuck their noose and hang loose. Be the proof of our resilience, shine brilliant, keep building yourself to new heights. Do more than survive, fuck just getting by. Let's collide against the lies. Big bang, create life. Like the dark nights, make portals out of plight and catch me on the other side, where there's knowledge, power, peace, and wisdom unknown, enough to keep your mind blown without the greens. Just keep reaching, keep speaking, never speeches. Be louder than speakers on blast or tires screeching, just don't crash. Control the chaos if you're lost, host a seance and connect to your roots. Take a day off with some crayons and connect to your youth. Refuse to let the darkness consume and place you in a tomb. Take a breath and resurrect. Pace your steps. It's a marathon. That's what Nipsey said. So get your hustle on and finish those laps. Stay motivated. Remember who has your back. Stay scheming and dreaming. Damn the demons in your head. Don't feed them. Starve them instead. Find your reasons for getting your ass out of bed and practice self-care. Because I'm aware it's what we need in a world that's not fair, that tries to conceal my light, but never that. I unwind with these rhymes. Take the time, even if I don't have it. Make my health a habit. Ignorance isn't bliss. It just blinds you from your own abyss. So keep pushing through whatever it is that keeps you feeling down. And remember, even a redwood starts growing in the darkest depths underground. All right. Thank you. So I don't think I even said it, but yeah, I teach at Bravo High School, which is that way, somewhere. It's really cool. We got students from all over the place. It's a magnet school, so we got like just all over, a bunch of different cultures. Yesterday, for the first time ever, Bravo had their first poetry show on campus. It was amazing. In that show, we had 6 students that were spitting fire in front of anywhere from 200 to 300 students at a time. It was crazy, man. Like just them on the mic alone. Imagine doing that in high school. That's crazy. So it was a beautiful thing. And right now when I came in, I saw some of my students and I was like, oh, damn. Hey, one of the poets, Christina, hey, you should do a poem earlier. Like take some of my time. She's like, what, for real? I'm like, yeah, why not? So y'all are going to get to hear a poem from Crisela.
All right, so, all right, what's up, y'all? Oh, can you hear me? Okay, cool. So yeah, it was my first time performing yesterday. So I wanted to perform one today. It curses, so I'm sorry. Girl, take off your mask. Oh, for real? Because we want to see you. Oh, no. Queen. All right, so it's called Why Do I Study? Do I study as a thank you to my parents, a los que no pudieron por no tener riqueza? working day in and day out, barely making ends meet, and still having to send some back. A los que no pudieron por no tener riqueza, crossing that fucking desert just to live under the same stress, barely making ends meet, and still having to send some back. No, you see, I get it. They wanted better for us. Crossing that fucking desert just to live under the same stress, projecting goals onto their kids they wish they could have met. No, you see, I get it. They wanted better for us. Projecting goals onto their kids they wish they could have met, making it feel like being a kid was unimaginable. No TV, only, ¿por qué no lees un libro? Limpia la casa. Algo. Manifesting our dream job to be a doctor, ingeniero, abogado, algo grande. Handing my innocent hands the opportunity to hold a dream, never having to worry about surviving. My nose is in a book as a thank you to my parents. Thank you.
Yeah. That made me really happy. Thank you for that. All right, this is my last one. This one, I was talking to the homie one time. We were talking about being in spaces that we don't feel like we're supposed to be. I think he works for Netflix or something like that. And he's just like, it was just, sometimes you're in these spaces like, man, there's hella white people. There's just hella people that think differently than me. Or there's just hella people, I don't belong here. And I feel like that is, when I go to my classroom sometimes, like, these fools gave me keys to a classroom. Like, what the hell? They don't know what they did, right? Like, it's crazy. And sometimes I just don't feel like that's where I belong, right? But I feel like I'm not meant to be comfortable in these spaces. I was always meant to infiltrate these spaces. That was the whole point. And so this poem is about that. Infiltrate the spaces we've never seen, where our voices are never heard, our words are often misunderstood. Greet them with the what's good, keep it hood, fuck their dialect, I flex my intellect. I can switch it up for you lanes, but if you don't know the code, then stay in your lane. Infiltrate their classrooms, once sites of colonizing, castration, mental mind fucking, manipulative mutilation, now a source of inspiration. I am that infiltrator, teaching minds behind enemy lines, righteous aggression against centuries of lies. I'm not alone in this fight, that can't be denied. We move in silence, we teach with love, not violence. Long hair, but I'm no hippie. Got a history of tripping on moments of injustice. Trust this, infiltrator stands only 5'6", but on the shoulders of giants, I can't be dismissed. So miss me with that typical shit that you find in your textbooks. Best believe I'ma rearrange the agenda and expose the real crooks. Fuck your founding fathers. Fuck your billionaire monsters. Fuck your ideas of gender. Your ideas of normal. I'm here to disrupt your American dream. I didn't infiltrate this land. Your laws infiltrated me. But I refuse to let this system live in peace. When there's no justice on the streets, it's bigger than these bad apple police. The front line is everywhere. That's what I teach. Infiltrate wherever you must. Doesn't matter if you're in Harvard or sitting on a bus. Your existence is already half the battle. We're more resilient than they'll ever tell you. Don't ever let them deny you what's yours. Don't fight their wars, fight yours. Infiltrate if you must or create your own front. You might not realize it, but there's so many of us and still not enough. So when you're ready, let's ride. Fists in the sky. Isang baksak. I got your back, so if you feel me, holla back. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. And you're damn right, that's a fact.
Okay, I remember Steve now. El pueblo unido jamás será vendido. ¿Vencido or vendido? Oh, both, okay. You guys, it's been such a blessing to have you all here tonight. All these poets, like, isn't it badass? Give it up for Michael Becerra. Give it up to the Este Archives over there. You guys, like this is really history in the making. Look at that print. It's history in the making. Like, Michael's like, I want to record like these poets doing their thing. You know, we didn't think of it, he did. We just show up and spit on the mic, but Michael's like, we got to record this stuff. And so if you guys have the funds, or if you guys are chipsters, like we said earlier, you should totally look into getting this vinyl. It's going to be limited, right, Michael? Only 350. Dude, by the time we're older, it'll be worth a lot. It's like Santana, but better. Okay, but last but not least, see, Lali, I'm going to embarrass you a little bit. This is my homegirl, my enchilada. We've been on road trips. We got lost in New Mexico together. I almost died, remember, girl? I'm allergic to cats, apparently. See, you remember, girl? She's like, Edie's, are you breathing? And I was like, I don't know. Do you know CPR? Okay, but that's my side story. See, Lali is one of my besties. She's a badass fucking entrepreneur. You should follow Tarjetas con Amor on Instagram. She makes all these badass prints. Everybody's birthday, wedding, whatever you need, she has a card for it. Especially if it's about tacos. Like, si no me traes tacos, no te quiero, güey. Okay, here we go. This is her bio. I love you, girl. Citlali Quijosa Osuna is a poet and writer from Southeast Los Angeles, Maywood. She's the owner of Tarjetitas con Amor, a non-traditional greeting card company. Citlali's poetry and greeting cards are inspired by her family and surrounding communities. Give it up for the queen. She's the guayaba queen. You guys don't even know.
Hello, everyone. It's been long. It's been long. It's been for me, or like 3 years. I actually got to share poetry this past weekend with street poets at Celebrating Words Festival. I'm a little nervous because everything about me has changed, my vision, my body, the way it takes time. So I was a little scared that I wasn't going to be able to read. So that's a new thing. What happens when you get older, everything changes and nobody really talks about it until you're going through it, so yeah. So I'm gonna share a few poems. I'm a little rusty because I couldn't remember how much 10 minutes took in poems, right? So I'm gonna share one poem that it's part of the vinyl. It's called La Dieta Pendeja. Every season, there's a new gimmick. ¿Y ahora qué se te ocurre? Nada nuevo, pero estos pantalones me tienen que entrar, cerrar y dejarme respirar. I dream of pantalones with built-in fajas, secret slimmer shape shifter pantalones that will contain everything in. Is this too much to ask for? A faja in my pantalones that will ease this back pain and will offer support, menstrual pain comfort, lifting boxes like nada pasa. Ya saben lo necesario, casi como un rebozo tied to my hips. I dream of built-in fajas in my pantalones. ¿Quieres fajas o quieres faja? Que te rebaje la lonja, que te rebaje las penas, porque esas parecen penas. I just want a faja that is not painful, man. The kind that won't make me skip meals, the kind that will let me breathe. Pinches fajas, ¿qué se traen conmigo? Fájame bien, pero no me mates, faja. Fájame bien, pero no me restrinjas. Fájame bien, pero no me quites lo que más anhelo. Fájame, pero sin las dietas pendejas. Okay, I'm gonna do, I swear this one's short. I know it's 2 pages, but it's short. So at the first year of COVID, I didn't get COVID, but I got an injury from sitting down for so long from working at home, and it's a very common injury. And it was the most painful thing in the world, and I wish it on no one, not even on the person I hate the most. And it taught me patience. It taught me to ask for help. And I'm this new person, I say no a lot now. I'm like, that's too far to drive, dude, I can't, sorry, can't do it. Yes, self-care, yes, self-care, where's the teacher? Right here, self-care. So now I do journaling workshops about self-care. which I love to do, and I do writing with intent workshops, which I did while I was recovering from this pinche injury that I wish on no one. And I tried everything in the world. But anyways, where will you take your body? That's the title of it. My leg has restricted me from being flat on the bed. Now not allowing me to move quickly as I want. Just chill, girl. Breathe and just feel the muscle heal. Clear your mind. Clear my mind? How can I think of anything but the pain that's causing me, that my leg is causing me? Clear my mind. Okay, I will not think of the fact that I can't even take a shit properly, or that I have to shower in less than 5 minutes because the shooting pain that starts in my inner thigh and wraps around my entire leg starts all over again. So I let the heat of the water soothe it. I try to count every time to do the little things just to see how long it takes me for me to call it quits. Where will you take your body, and where will your body take you? My hip told me to stop carrying so much, to understand that it's okay to say no to more things, to allow others to take care of me now, to ask for help now, that it's okay to slow down, to focus and take deep breaths. My hip showed me to move my body more carefully, to listen to my body, to stop and admire the moments, slow down real quick. Where will your body take you? Where will you take your body? My hands said it's okay to stop working, to take breaks in between and be present. Don't worry about the words now. Just heal and let your hands be, and they'll be ready soon. Just listen to the vibration of frequencies going through your body. No hay prisa. Connect with your body. Right now, your hands are needed to heal your body. Sóbate. Pray with them. Receive. Offer them medicine. Let the warmth of your hands guide the relief in your body. So tell me, where will you take your body, and where will your body take you? Okay, I'm gonna read this last one. So one of the things that I did while healing was listen to frequencies, and YouTube was my safe haven, and so was Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny was like the shit for me during my healing. I was like, what? Like, this vato knows what's up. Like, he knows what frequencies to use to heal my leg. I was like, that's what it is. And I still listen to it, and I'm like, oh my God, Ojitos Bonitos is like the shit. On repeat. I'm 39, but I like him. Like, I don't care. And Harry Styles. Harry Styles is a shit too. But one of the awesome things that happened after I started to heal, I practiced time, and I took time, and I sat for 5 minutes, and then I increased my time, and I do the same thing with writing and with my students. When I tell them, write for 10 minutes, and they're like, Miss, that's too long. And I'm like, it's okay. And then they write for 10 minutes, and like, can we write for 5 more minutes? And I was like, awesome. I love when they ask for more time. But that's what I had to do with myself. And again, patience. And I know a lot of us had to go through that, being at home through this whole thing. But I'm so happy to be here. And the other day I took myself out. I went to go eat at Mole de los Reyes. If you know, you know. And if you don't, you got to know. So I'll let you know where it's at. It's in Maywood, California. It's a beautiful little city, tiny in Southeast LA. Poem written while at Mole de los Reyes in Maywood, California. I rarely eat alone anymore, but I've slowly gone back to it. But when I see the selection of dishes, I'm reminded of you. And your excitement for delicious food, and I text you out of excitement, and I call you, but there's no answer. That's when I realize I've lost you. That even the mole of the Reyes would not move you to answer my messages, so I enjoy this moment to myself. Even if it almost makes me cry, even when I feel pressure in my chest, I will enjoy each chilaquiles smothered in green salsa de tomatillo. I will enjoy each enchilada covered in queso granitado en salsa verde cremosa. and the last Coca-Cola en botella de vidrio. I hope in the most loving way, when you crave what I'm eating, that when you crave what I'm eating but never get to find it or anything close to it, I'll enjoy the café de olla. I'll enjoy the solitude, the peace that finally has arrived to make me smile. I'll think of you and how you are missing, forever missing out on this delicacy. That's it. All right, my body's starting to shake, but I'll read one more. In this poem, the reason why I'm so nervous to read is because I catch myself when I'm practicing that I cry, and I hate crying. But it's necessary for us to cry. We have to let out whatever it is that we're holding in. But I wrote this poem years ago for my grandmother. Anyways, it's called She's Fire. Ooh. Quiero que nuestra historia sea de aquellas historias que me contaba mi abuela. She would clasp both of her hands together and hold them close to her chin. Pues mira nada más. Tu abuelo me robó. ¿Cómo lo ves? Pero yo no quiero que se diga que la mía, que me robaron. En mi historia quiero que se diga, pues mira, ella nunca se quiso enamorar de nadie. Y esa persona hizo hasta lo imposible para que ella le diera su atención. Era fuego puro. She was fire burning in every moment, stimulating growth and maintaining balance around her. She was fire, warm but hot to the touch. There was pain and love that she held within her. The story goes that they wanted to continuously tame her fire when they were the ones who provoked it. She was fire, but only to fill the space with warmth and watch her thoughts grow. She was fire and often taken advantage of. So she burned with anger. She burned like a motherfucker to anyone that lied and manipulated her fire. Quiero que en mis historias cuenten que yo nunca dejé de quemar, that they never could tame me, that I was the light in their pinche bleak life. Quiero que se digan que mis gustos eran muy míos, and that I was loved that way, y que así amé igual, llena de pasión, llena de fuego, llena del calor que sana. That's it. So, I just want to say something real quick. When I was 19 years old, actually when I was in high school, I was 18, a senior in high school, in Bell High School, I looked up Chicano poets. And one of the poets, or actually a group of poets that came out was Taco Shop Poets. And I was like, I want to be part of that group. And I was like, dude, what? I want to do this. This is what I want to do. And then, of course, we were introduced to Luis Rodriguez, always running in school. And then I was just like, and then I got to go to Tia Chucha's, and that was the first place I ever read poetry. And I get to be part of Tia Chucha's, doing teaching artist stuff. Luis and Trini, y'all have been an inspiration. Adolfo, you too. And EastSide Cafe, holding space for poets, for artists, for friendships, and connecting community all the time. Thank you Michael, for doing this. It's a beautiful thing. I was so excited when he invited me to record, and just for inviting me this night as well. Again, it's been a long time. I didn't feel ready, but damn, I'm ready now. So let's do this. Thank you so much.
Okay, so see, Lali, being the poet that she is, just wrapped it around for us, because I was like, how do I close this event? Adolfo read first. He's a taco shop poet. You guys know the taco shop poets? you guys revolutionized a lot of things for us. And then so Lali's like closing it up over here, being all majestic. Honestly, give yourselves a round of applause real quick. No, like for real. Damn. Like, who sits through 2 hours of poetry? You do, and you're... Missy, what'd you say, Missy? No, this is it's heartwarming, it's beautiful, it's legendary. How about that? We're gonna just throw that right there. It's legendary in the mix. You guys better buy this vinyl. Buy it. Michael Becerra, one more time. Come here. Come up here again, sir. I know he spoke at the beginning, but like really, this is your thing.
Thank you everybody for coming down, and for the poets who recorded with us. Thank you. We'll have to do a volume 2.
He said, let's do volume 2. Oh my goddess. Oh my goddess. Okay, who's ready? I know Munchola, Xochitl. I already got things. Okay, who else? Raise your hand. Trini, we're going to get Trini on it. Ooh. Okay. We got ideas. We have things flowing. Students, we can get some students. Okay, and then I'm gonna end it like this, and then you guys, if you guys want to come up after, it's fine. But I'm just gonna do this little canto for you guys, okay? It's about like fires in your heart. Que me quema tanto este ardor que llevo dentro, que me quema, que me quema tanto. That's it.